yet another episode of One to One on HCN Herald. We have with us Roshan Matthias, who is the Vice President of Goencho Awaz and is a very prominent social activist in the Kalangut Kanduri belt. He was also is part of the Kanduri Consumer Forum and actively engaged in activities and causes close to the people of the area. One burning issue that is doing the rounds right now is the whole issue of urbanization of Kalangut, and we know how Kalangut has become completely urbanized. There's no difference between Kalangut and Panjim. It has become an absolute concrete jungle. Yesterday, one very interesting thing happened. The Panchayat of Kalangut passed a resolution again, which basically overturned their earlier recent resolution proposing that Kalangut be part of or be included in the list of urbanized villages. I'll give you a little background here. The issue is that the government had earlier kind of denotified or earlier had actually included 56 areas as part of urban areas. There were earlier rural areas, post which, because of the hue and cry, these 56 villages were again denotified, put back into non-urban areas, after which, again, very interestingly, the proposal went out to urbanize only the Kalangut Panchayat in that entire constituency consisting of Kalangut village, Kanduli villages and other villages, but only the proposal was to urbanize the Kalangut village as it were. And of course, there was a lot of strong reactions from people because they felt that this saga of urbanization has completely destroyed the village of Kalangut. Interestingly, just yesterday, the same panchayat again passed a resolution stating that they should now propose again to call back the earlier proposal of urbanization, which was recently made, and put Kalangut in the denotified list of villages, which meant that they wanted Kalangut not to be urbanized and remain and keep its village status. Roshan, I want to begin by asking you, can you just explain simply and succinctly to our viewers as to what this is all about?
Well, urbanization is actually a classification of a particular village or a town or a city, which happens due to certain criteria. Like as per the census, if your village is densely populated per square kilometer, or if you have 75% of the population who is engaged in non-agricultural activities, then actually by default you become an urban area. But this has to be notified by the government.
So, yes, I understand. So I'll just quickly come to what has happened. Yeah, that's important information. So I just wanted to tell the viewers that Kalangut village has been, while the people of Kalangut do not want the urbanization to happen, for some reason the political leadership, the local MLA, Michael Lobo and others, have kind of batted urbanization for different benefits. And when the Kalangut Panchayat very recently, in the month of March or April, wanted to be put back into the urbanized list, that is when people really got upset. Is that right? Can you elaborate on that?
So basically, what I have evaluated is this situation has been created. Okay, when the entire village was denotified, along with the other 55 villages, including Kalangut was the 56th one.
Denotified from urban areas to be put back into the rural status.
Yes, it was brought back to rural status just a year back. Now, exactly after a year, the same panchayat goes and it asks for it to be urban. So this was very strange. Another thing is, what I have noticed is now that the elections are coming, this has been a very usual scenario for elections. You create an issue and then you get the issue created basically by somebody else. And then you come and you show that you are a hero in that. And this is exactly what has been done in this Kalangut urbanization situation. For example, now I'll tell you, when we are talking about urbanization of Kalangut, very similar to Kalangut is also Kandolim, which was
Yes.
also part of the list of the 56 villages which got denotified. Now, if Michael Lobo, when he has said in his particular statements that he was looking at some certain benefits that people would get, wasn't he looking at Kandolim also getting benefits? Why was his focus only on Kalangut? That means that what he was trying to tell on the video was an absolute lie and a story which was made up at that point of time. It was not that anyone was getting any benefit. It was just that he wanted to create a story. He wanted to create a situation, a panic in Kalangut, and then come as Superman. Okay, so he got only Kalangut Panchayat to propose this thing, and he knew the people will come and oppose it. So he came like a hero, and everyone thinks that he's the one who did something. And this is going to continue. I'm not saying urbanization
But
situation
Roshan,
is going to.
this whole exercise of concretization of Kalangut and urbanization has been going on for a long time, and I think the political leadership in that area, including the MLA, has been in favor of putting Kalangut under an ODP, and that has been there for a long time. So
100%. See, we should understand the background of our current MLA. He is a person from the real estate lobby. Okay, so he has been in this business. I'm not saying it was a hobby or something. It is his business from before he became an MLA. So he has got a lot of friends. He has got a lot of connections where those people are waiting to eat of Kalangut. And they have found him the best person to get things done in Kalangut. So his focus is not Kalangut as a village, his people and Kalangut thing is not on his mind at all. It is only how much he can get of Kalangut. And so all ideas, all proposals are all focused. We were very badly cheated with the ODP. All the people, which actually is a situation created by this present MLA and also previous. Whenever a person goes with his hard-earned money to a panchayat, or he goes to an office saying that I want to put this money and build a house for myself, he is told, no, you cannot build, which is the first lie. Second thing, he's told, don't worry, you build it. We will be there if anything happens. So who is the one who created all these illegal things? Is these people. Now, being an MLA, the role of an MLA is not development of a constituency or a village. The role of an MLA is to create bylaws or to create laws or amend laws or acts on behalf of the people to set them free. And in this point, nobody has ever taken a step to set the people of Kalangut free.
Roshan, one quick question is that, again, coming to the ODP which you mentioned, don't you think the focus should be more on scrapping or denotifying the ODP, denotifying Kalangut from the ODP status? Because what happens is, whether it is urban or non-urban, as long as it falls under the outline development plan, you can allow constructions under the C1, C2 category and allow large buildings to come up. So irrespective of whether you're called urban or rural, the ODP status allows construction in a manner which kind of defies the logic of it being a village, irrespective of the fact that CRZ rules have to be followed.
Very true. Actually, what you're saying is absolutely right, because the ODP actually increased the FAR of so many buildings. Today, in my own village of Kandolim, I'm not even looking at Kalangut, I have a building which has come up, which is 8 to 10 floors, 8 to 10 floors, and the road in front of it is not even 3 meters wide. So this has happened through the ODP. Now, what has happened is he brought in this ODP to favor such builders who are building these tall buildings. Secondly, what happened is, in the activism that we have been creating in Kalangut area, a lot of structures that tried to come through the ODP in the CRZ areas were stalled. Okay, and we did a really good job. Many of us are there in Kalangut who are very, on ground working hard. Many forums are there, many individuals are there working hard to protect the environment. Now he has understood that these things are not possible even through the ODP in a CRZ area, because they are legally absolutely illegal.
Right.
So he's trying to bring that urban status. He's trying to make the entire village into a CRZ2 area and then increase the constructions legally up to 50 meters of the high tide line.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all for people not of Kalangut.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Tell me something now with this resolution passed, whatever be the motive or the plan behind it. Now with the panchayat again saying that we should not be an urban area and they pulled back the earlier proposal. Don't you see this as a signal that people have, at least people power has triumphed to an extent, and that people can still be watchdogs, irrespective of the other part where you say that it could have been stage managed, but the end result is that what people wanted has happened.
See, people of Kalangut very particularly have been very, very attentive and very, very alert of what's happening in and around Kandolim and Kalangut areas. Okay, though they are all racing towards development, yet you will find a lot of people right from the time, they had the issue of Taj in the 80s till ODPs came and went, constructions are going on, hills are being cut. People are the ones who have come out on the streets and have opened their mouths. And
Right.
when I visit offices, especially when I go to collect RTI information, the RTI officers themselves say, we are surprised that people of Kandolim and Kalangut are so active and they come out. And that's the beauty of Kalangut.
Right, right.
That's the beauty.
Right,
The
Roshan.
people actually keep it as what it is right now.
So, Roshan, I'm running out of time. Thank you so much for simply and quickly explaining the ground situation there. And we look forward to having more such conversation. Thank you for joining us.